Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
So my question is about paying off the debt that my husband and I have. We have about $119,000 in debt, and we're considering taking out either like a second or home equity loan to pay it off because we're getting impatient. It used to be $160,000.
Okay.
So we've been making progress, but
that's good.
It's kind of
what's your household income?
Having children, about $300,000.
Okay. You make $300,000 a year, and you've paid off $50,000 in debt. When?
It's probably taken us about a year. It's because we're in like our first home, and there's just been like one thing after another, unexpected issues and things. My husband had to end up selling his car so that we can pay off some contractors from a leak we had, and then some of that went towards the debt. But also during this time, I've started a little side business, a little party business. I had my first customer this past weekend. My husband also takes on like extra, I don't want to call them shifts, but he volunteers for like
so
call.
What is the debt? What is the 119 on? What kind of debt?
55 is credit cards. 22 is student loans. 23 is a personal loan. And then 19 is my car.
Okay. All right. What do you do for a living?
We're both engineers.
Okay. All right, good. And how long have you been married?
7 years.
When did you buy this house you're talking about that's eating you alive?
2021.
How much is your house payment?
So, close to
$5,000.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so it takes $60,000 a year to pay your house payment. All right. So if you were to live on $200,000, you would be debt-free in a little over a year. Kind of sounds absurd when I say it that way, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Where the flip are you people spending money?
Yeah, there's just been, like, we had to get a new AC, we had to get a new furnace. We didn't have a fence around the property. Not gonna lie, there have been some vacations in there too.
Yeah, some vacations. You eat out every night. You guys spend like you're in Congress. Your lifestyle is eating you alive somewhere. It's not a furnace doesn't throw this thing off as far as it's off. We're off $100,000 a year. I mean, people in Los Angeles can live on $200,000. They do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They live on $100,000 in Los Angeles, but people do. So if you were to live on $200,000 and you put $100,000, so I want you to put $8,000 a month towards your debt. I want you to sit down tonight, and I want you to sit down tonight, and I want you to quit acting like you're rich because you're freaking broke. You're broke people that make $300,000.
Second car. That's why we sold the other car, and I started up a business.
The business is not. You don't have an income problem. You have a spending problem. You make $300,000 a year.
That's fair. Yeah, I think there's like an issue with like feeling so burnt out that we end up needing like treat yourself, vacation.
What do you burn out from?
I drive 140 miles round trip to work. And we have pretty taxing jobs. And, we didn't get any help from parents. We paid for our own wedding.
Yeah, I don't think I can help you. I don't think I can help you. The answer to your question, though, is no, you should not try to borrow your way out of debt. You did not pay off your debt when you move it over to the home equity loan. You just moved it. And you left all the same habits and stupid butt spending in place, and you're going to be right back into a mess again because you rationalize every time I bring up, you've got some kind of dadgum excuse, okay? And so you're going to have to decide that I make $300,000 a year, and it's embarrassing that I can't pay off $100,000 in a year. It's embarrassing. When you decide that, then I can help you, because it should be embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you. It's awful. So, you could clean this up in no time. And by the way, engineers is the number one career field that becomes millionaires. And they don't become millionaires doing what you guys are doing. I mean, you're too smart. You're too smart people. And so I drive 140 miles each way, and I'm burnt out, but I'm going to start a side business.
Right.
That's just, no.
Don't drive 140 miles.
Get a different job.
Change your life or change your job.
Or move. Get rid of this house you can't afford. That's killing you. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys really need to look at this and because you're trying to find an easy way through this, and you got to deal with the person in the mirror. And I love you, and I want you to win, and you have such potential. Can you imagine what it'd be like to have a budget that was under control, making $300,000, $25,000 a month with a $5,000 house payment? How freaking rich you will be if you have no payments and you learn to live on less than you make with a budget, and you and your husband are in control. You guys are out of control. You're chaotic. God, I mean, you can do this. It's so clear. But no, you cannot borrow your way out of debt, because let me tell you what happens when people do debt consolidation loans. It's a con, because you don't change the person in your mirror. Your habits are still there. You're going to go right back into debt, and now you got a debt on your house and all new credit card debt, because we're right back where we were, because we never got control of $300,000 worth of income. There are people out there listening right now that make $60,000 that are yelling at you through their car radio right this second, yelling at you through their phone right this second, going, "You've got to be kidding me." They are. And I'm not trying to be mean to you, honey. I love you, and I want you to win, because you could do so much good. You're going to have an incredible life with this income. And you're smart people. You're not dumb people. But boy, you're doing some dumb butt stuff. And you got to change that, kiddo. Sorry, but I love you, and I want you to win. And thank you for calling. Open phones at 888-825-5225. So, Ken, you remember that Tom Stanley wrote the original book back in the 90s called Millionaire Next Door. Tom passed away in a car accident. His daughter Sarah still runs a bunch of research. Tom did another book after that. As a matter of fact, I think it might have been the last book before he died. He did called Stop Acting Rich.
It's good.
And because people have confused out there, a bunch of people have confused in America that income means wealth. Income does not mean wealth. Net worth means wealth. Net worth comes from living on less than your income. That's where it comes from.
That's right. There's also this disease where I think people think if I can balance it, and I'm thinking about the old cartoon. I don't know if it was Sylvester the cat where the plates would fall off and he's scrambling trying to catch all the plates. So this idea of if I can balance all the stuff, then I can have what rich people, and that's the idea that he's talking about. Yeah. And it's not, there's a difference between balancing it versus affording it. They think they can afford it because they're balancing. And then what we see is the plates start to drop. And in this case, her health is dropping. The burnout, stuff like that. I mean, it just, you can't keep trying to balance all these plates, spinning all these plates.
Yeah, it'll kill you. It'll just kill you. That's what's burning you out.
I agree.
Plate spinning. Yeah. Plate spinning will kill you. But guys, if you make a good income, you're not rich. You're not rich. Not until you live on less than that and you build a net worth. That's what makes you rich. You can't out-earn your stupidity. I tried it. I was good at it. Couldn't do it. This is The Ramsey Show.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.